Welcome to the deep dive. Wow. If you've been keeping an eye on artificial intelligence, mid-July 2025 has just been, well, a whirlwind, hasn't it?
Hello.
The pace feels like it's gone from, I don't know, fast to just ludicrous speed. We've got this stack of really big announcements from the major tech players all landing around the same time.
Yeah,
So we're here today to try and unpack all of this. What does it actually mean for AI's future, and maybe more importantly for you listening?
exactly. And what's really striking is how these announcements, even though they're from different companies, they kind of tell one cohesive story. The big theme really is this clear push towards more capable AI. Often we're calling it agentic AI now.
Agentic AI, okay.
Yeah, it's not just about, chatting or making pictures anymore.
Yeah.
It's AI that can understand complex goals, make plans, and actually do things for you autonomously.
Okay, so speaking of doing things, OpenAI, that seems like one of the biggest headlines, right? Their ChatGPT agent launch. It sounds like a pretty major step up.
Oh, it is.
Can you break that down? How is this really different from the ChatGPT we already know? What does agentic mean right here?
Right. So the ChatGPT agent, and this rolled out for Pro, Plus, and Team users around July 17th, 18th, 2025.
Yeah.
It's a big leap. It can now perform autonomous actions.
Okay.
Which means it goes beyond just giving you info. It can actually, search the web for specifics. It could book an appointment, maybe execute some pretty complex multi-step tasks across different apps.
Okay.
It plugs directly into tools like Gmail, GitHub, even your calendar. So this isn't just the chatbot getting a bit smarter. It's a real shift from conversation to actual workflow automation.
So it's not just answering my question, it's actually doing the task I would have done based on the answer.
Precisely.
That feels like more than just a simple productivity tweak, doesn't it? It sounds almost fundamental, like changing how we even interact with our devices.
Yeah.
What are the sort of ripple effects there for how we manage our digital lives or even just our mental energy? Are we really talking about delegating whole chunks of what we do online?
That's exactly the core idea. It's not just about AI doing little tasks for you. It's potentially a fundamental shift in how we handle cognitive load.
Right.
Instead of managing every single click, every login, every step yourself, you might start just delegating entire processes. Think about that jump from AI as a handy tool to AI as like an autonomous co-pilot. That's the real potential game changer here.
Wow, an autonomous co-pilot. Okay, so if OpenAI is focusing on getting AI to act for you, automating workflows, what about the step before that, finding the information in the first place? That leads us right to Google, doesn't it? How are they boosting their search capabilities with AI, especially with this whole agentic trend happening?
Yeah, Google's definitely not standing still. They're rolling out Gemini 2.5 Pro with something called Deep Search. This is initially for their AI Pro and Ultra users.
Deep search.
And the idea here is to handle much longer, more complex search queries. Moving way beyond just a few keywords. What's really interesting is Google's focus on making search more conversational, enabling these multi-step research journeys powered by AI.
So like a back and forth.
Exactly. You can ask deeper follow-up questions right there in Google search. It becomes less like typing in a query and getting links, and more like having a dialogue with a research assistant.
That sounds incredibly useful for us doing this kind of deep dive or anyone doing serious research. But what about for, the average person just looking something up?
Yeah.
What's the biggest change they'll feel? And I wonder, does this also create new problems like information overload if it's pulling so much together for you?
Well, for the average user, I think the biggest difference will be asking those broader, maybe multi-part questions and getting a single cohesive answer back instead of having to click 5 links and piece it together yourself.
Right. Saves time.
It's kind of like having a researcher synthesize things for you on the fly. But you hit on a key point. The challenge is definitely maintaining critical thinking. You have to trust the AI summary, but also know when and how to double check, to dig deeper yourself, so you don't just get overwhelmed by a potentially very convincing but maybe incomplete AI-generated summary.
Good point. We need to keep our own brains switched on. Okay, so we have agents acting, search getting deeper. Let's talk about the underlying tech, the infrastructure. Amazon Web Services, AWS, they're huge in cloud.
Absolutely.
What are they contributing here? What tools are they giving developers to actually build all these agentic AI systems?
AWS is making some serious moves on the infrastructure side.
Yeah.
They've announced tools specifically for building AI agents. One is called Strands 1.0 that's designed for letting multiple AI agents collaborate on tasks.
Multiple agents working together.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, coordinating complex jobs. And they've also launched Kiro, which is described as a Claude-powered IDE, basically a specialized coding environment.
Yeah.
Designed specifically for creating these agentic workflows.
Okay, so making it easier for developers to code these things.
Exactly. And on top of that, they've added 12 Labs AI models to their Bedrock platform, and they're partnering with Meta to support startups using the Llama models. So they're really trying to build out the whole ecosystem for businesses wanting to develop and deploy AI agents.
So providing those crucial building blocks, but with Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, now AWS, all offering these kinds of AI development tools. Is there a danger that things get fragmented, like developers have to pick a side, or does all this competition actually just speed things up and make the tools better for everyone?
That's a really good question. And while fragmentation is always a risk, I think the current feeling is more towards accelerated innovation. This intense competition forces each platform, AWS, Google, Microsoft, to really sharpen their tools, boost performance, offer unique features. Ultimately, that gives developers more choice, more power,
Right.
and it also encourages specialization maybe, so companies can choose the platform that really fits their specific AI needs best.
That makes sense. Better tools all around. Okay, that brings us to Vercel. Now, AWS is sort of the big underlying infrastructure, but Vercel seems more focused specifically on AI app development, right?
That's right.
What's their angle here? How does their new AI cloud fit into this picture?
Correct. Vercel launched their AI cloud on July 18th, 2025. They're positioning it as a unified platform specifically designed for building AI applications. It offers flexible computing, security features, and crucially new agentic capabilities.
Okay, so tailored for AI apps.
Yeah. Key things they highlighted include their AI SDK and AI Gateway, basically toolkits for developers. They also have Vercel BotED, which is for security, protecting apps from bad bots. And Vercel Sandbox, which lets developers safely run untrusted code during testing, plus something called Fluid Compute, which is meant to optimize performance and cut costs.
Right.
So connecting it back, Vercel's goal here seems to be streamlining AI development, especially for web applications, and making it easier to integrate these next-gen agentic features into the websites and apps we use.
So they're trying to smooth the path for developers to put sophisticated AI right into web apps. For us as users, what might that actually feel like? Could websites start feeling more dynamic? More personalized, smarter somehow?
I think that's exactly the potential.
Yeah.
This kind of infrastructure development, it really paves the way for a different kind of web experience. Think about the apps you use daily, transforming from static pages or simple forms into something more interactive, almost like a smart assistant built right in, anticipating what you need, maybe completing tasks without you even leaving the site. It's less about just what the AI can do in theory, and more about what developers can now realistically build for us using these platforms, making the web feel more alive, more responsive.
Okay, exciting stuff. And finally, let's touch on the AI models themselves. The competition there is fierce. xAI, newer player, but very ambitious, just launched Grok 4. How does Grok 4 measure up? What's their play here against the established giants?
Right, xAI dropped Grok 4 mid-July 2025, and it's clearly aimed right at the top tier of models. They're highlighting significantly better coding and reasoning skills.
Okay.
It's explicitly designed, they say, to compete with models like Anthropic's Claude Code, OpenAI's Codex, Google's Gemini, and especially for technical tasks.
Direct challenge.
Absolutely. And they've also introduced a premium tier called Super Grok Heavy. Costs $300 a month, apparently, offering more compute power. That's clearly targeting pro developers, maybe enterprises, who need really intensive AI capabilities.
$300 a month. Serious users, then.
Definitely. It's a very ambitious push from xAI to grab market share in this incredibly competitive space. Everyone's racing to offer the most powerful, most specialized AI.
So another strong contender enters the ring. This heating up of competition between the big AI models, Grok, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT. What's the bottom line for us as users? Does it just mean faster innovation, maybe better prices eventually? Or does it risk creating a situation where only the absolute biggest companies with the deepest pockets can really play?
Well, in the short term, I think this competition is mostly good news for users.
Okay.
It absolutely drives innovation incredibly fast, We're seeing capabilities improve month by month. It puts pressure on pricing, potentially making powerful AI more accessible, and it forces companies to differentiate, right? Leading to maybe a wider variety of specialized tools for different needs.
So benefits for now.
For now, yes. The long-term question about market consolidation, whether a few players dominate entirely, that definitely remains. But right now, it's a really vibrant, very competitive landscape, which tends to benefit the end user.
Okay, so let's try and tie this all together. We've looked at OpenAI's agents actually doing things, Google making search deeper and more conversational, AWS and Vercel providing the tools for developers, and xAI jumping in with Grok 4. When you zoom out, what's the big picture here? There's definitely a clear trend, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely undeniable. Across the board, we're seeing this incredibly rapid move towards AI. It's more autonomous, more integrated into workflows, and just fundamentally more powerful.
Right.
AI is shifting pretty decisively from being just a tool for conversation or analysis to being an active participant. It's performing tasks, it's managing workflows, maybe even collaborating with other AIs like with AWS Strands.
Yeah.
The real focus now is on building and enabling these agents, embedding deeper intelligence into everything, and giving developers the platforms they need to create these next-level AI experiences. It's about AI becoming an active partner, not just a passive resource.
An active partner, that's a profound way to put it. So here's something to think about until our next deep dive. As these AI agents get smarter, get more integrated into our work, our digital lives, how might your own definition of getting things done start to change? Will we measure productivity differently? Or will we just find ourselves offloading more and more complex responsibilities onto these digital co-pilots?
Definitely something to ponder.
Indeed. Lots to think about. You know how sometimes just like a single month in AI feels like a whole year packed into one?
Oh, absolutely. The pace is just incredible.
It really is. If you blink, you could seriously miss some huge shift. So we wanted to look at July 2025. We've got these sources here, and they paint a really interesting picture. Our mission today is basically to dive deep into these developments, pull out the key insights, especially, for you listening. We're seeing AI just popping up everywhere all at once.
Yeah.
And there are some surprising connections here that show how deep these changes are running.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating, I think, is how these things that happened in July, they might seem separate, different companies, different areas.
Right.
But they actually weave together. It's part of this bigger story of AI just getting, practical, getting embedded into how businesses run, how we learn, how software gets made, even creative stuff.
Exactly. And let's kick off with business, because July was pretty significant there. We saw these big moves towards what people are calling, AI agents really starting to take hold in the enterprise.
Right.
And maybe we should clarify, when we say AI agent, it's not just a chatbot, right? It's more like an AI that can do things autonomously to reach goals. Using other tools.
Precisely. It acts, it doesn't just respond. And a prime example was the AWS AI Agent Marketplace launch.
Yeah, the partnership with Anthropic.
Exactly. So AWS set up this dedicated marketplace. The whole point is to let developers and startups get their AI agents, ones that have been vetted directly in front of big AWS enterprise customers.
Okay, so vetted is the key word there. It's like AWS is trying to build trust.
That's a huge part of it. They're essentially trying to commoditize trust for these agents. Big companies are wary, right? High risk. So AWS vetting them, that lowers the barrier significantly. It's been a real bottleneck.
Makes sense. And that ties straight into Anthropic's other move, right? The partnership with that startup, Dust.
Yes, exactly. So Anthropic and Dust are working together specifically to bring AI agents, powered by Claude, into day-to-day workplace operations.
So what kind of tasks are we talking about? More than just writing emails, I assume.
Oh yeah, much more. Think like deep analysis of reports, managing complex workflows that cut across different departments, automated drafting of documents, that sort of thing. The idea is to make it secure, efficient, and really integrated. So Claude can connect to your other tools, Slack, Salesforce, whatever, and these agents become like active team members.
Wow, okay. That really does sound like a big shift in how companies might operate. Less human-driven stuff, more agent-driven workflows.
That's the direction it's heading. More automation, more orchestration by these agents.
So for you listening, if you're in a business setting, this basically means a new wave of automation is coming. Maybe your job shifts more towards strategy, oversight, while agents handle more of the day-to-day grunt work.
Potentially, yes. Higher level focus, perhaps?
Okay, so AI agents are augmenting maybe even transforming business ops. But this push isn't just happening in the corporate world, it's also making huge waves in education. Google really made some noise there.
Oh, definitely. What Google did with Classroom is, well, potentially game-changing for access.
What were the key things?
So they rolled out free Gemini AI features for educators, that's big, and also Notebook LM access for users under 18.
Notebook LM, that's the AI research assistant tool, right?
Exactly. The AI note taker and research helper. Giving that to younger users is pretty significant.
Yeah, and I guess for you listening, the really exciting part here is this idea of truly personalized learning, like on a massive scale. Imagine every student basically getting an AI tutor tailored just for them. Teachers get AI help with lesson plans, analyzing student progress.
Right, and students get custom study guides, even audio summaries, which is great for different learning styles.
It feels like it's trying to make that really advanced, personalized learning available to, well, everyone, not just those who can afford special tutors.
That's the democratization aspect, making these powerful tools accessible. And, if we zoom out a bit, it really makes you wonder, how does this change the role of the teacher? And how students even engage with learning? It's a fundamental question.
Yeah, a really big question. So AI is changing how we learn, but it's also changing how the tools we use get built. July saw a pretty big leap in automated code generation, too. Mistral AI dropped something new.
They did. Between, I think it was July 4th and 11th, they released these new models called Devstral.
Devstral. Okay, so tailored for developers.
Exactly. These aren't just general AI models. They're specifically tuned for autonomous coding.
Meaning?
Well, it's not just about generating code faster. They're designed to better understand the intent behind a request, what the developer is trying to achieve. So the code they generate or the bugs they find, it's supposed to be more accurate, more robust, across lots of different programming languages too.
Okay, so the goal is basically to give dev teams a massive productivity boost. Let the AI handle more complex coding with less human hand-holding.
That's the aim. Minimal human oversight for increasingly complex tasks. It's a really noticeable step up in automating software development.
So if you're in tech, this is huge. What does it mean for, like, a software developer's job? Less typing code, more. Telling the AI what code to type, or checking the AI's work.
It could definitely shift things. More focus on the high-level design, the architecture, the problem-solving. And yes, maybe auditing or refining what the AI produces, rather than writing every single line from scratch.
And it probably speeds up innovation even more, right? If building software gets faster?
Potentially, yes. It frees up human developers for the harder, more creative problems. It definitely changes the skill set that might be most valuable in the future.
Okay, one more big area from July, and this one touches on something super important. Ethics. Especially as AI gets into creative fields, Moon Valley launched an AI video model called Mirai.
Right, Mirai. And the big headline with this one was that they're calling it ethical.
Ethical because?
Because, crucially, it was trained only on licensed data. So they paid for the rights to everything used in its training.
Ah, okay. So that directly tackles the big copyright headache that's been plaguing generative AI.
Exactly. That's been a major worry for creators. Am I infringing copyright by using this AI tool? Mirai aims to remove that fear.
Does it do anything interesting video-wise?
Yeah, it supports short clips that are 3D aware, which basically means it understands perspective and object consistency better as things move. More realistic, dynamic shots. And it apparently gives creators more fine-grained control over the output.
So it's really targeting filmmakers, artists, creators who are maybe hesitant about AI because of those legal gray areas.
That seems to be the target audience, yes. People who want the power of AI video but need that ethical assurance. And it raises this bigger question, doesn't it? What standards should we expect for AI in creative fields? This kind of sets a precedent.
Yeah, I find that really interesting, that combination of pushing creative boundaries but doing it supposedly responsibly. It's a good sign. And how do people access it?
It's a tiered pricing based on credits you buy. Pretty standard for these kinds of tools now.
Right. Okay, so let's just quickly wrap this up. In just 1 month, July 2025, we saw AI agents really pushing into businesses with AWS and Anthropic.
Democratizing AI in education with Google's moves.
A big jump in automated coding thanks to Mistral's Devstral.
And this new ethical standard emerging in AI video with Moon Valley's Mirai.
It's just A lot in a short time. The breadth of it is pretty staggering.
It really shows how fast and how deep AI is embedding itself. These aren't just like isolated tech demos anymore. This is becoming core infrastructure for how we work, learn, create.
So the final thought for you listening is, what does all this mean for you? With AI moving this fast, how might it change the way you work or learn or approach creative projects, maybe even sooner than you think?
Yeah, maybe think about one specific area in your life or work. Where could these kinds of tools, these agents, make a real difference? Or maybe even challenge how you do things right now?
Something to definitely mull over.